At that table, with a candle flickering between us and the smell of steak still thick in the air, I finally stopped playing their game. My father's voice cut across the quiet restaurant. "Olivia, watch your tone. Your brother's trying to do something with his life. That deserves our support." I looked at him steadily. What it deserves is accountability. My mother reached for my hand, her manicured nails gleaming under the light. "Sweetheart, we would never put you in danger. It's just a signature." Tyler has matured this time. He even met with a financial advisor. "Yes," I said calmly. "Me. 2 years ago. I'm the one who advised him to file for bankruptcy, not start another venture." Her face faltered. Tyler slammed his hand against the table, making the silverware jump. "You think you're so perfect, Olivia. You wouldn't understand what it's like to take risks. Not everyone wants to rot in a hospital for the rest of their life playing nurse." The insult didn't sting. I'd heard worse. What stung was how little surprise it brought. My father's hand landed on the papers. "Enough. You have a responsibility to your family. Without this loan, your brother loses his chance, and our family name goes through the mud. You don't want to embarrass us, do you?" There it was. That word, embarrass. My childhood had been built on avoiding that threat. Don't embarrass, don't disappoint, don't defy. But I was done. "I'm not embarrassed," I said softly. "I'm embarrassed that you're still trying to make me pay for his mistakes." My mother's mask cracked then. "Do you have any idea what you're doing? This could ruin the family. Maybe the family needs to be ruined before it rots." For a moment, nobody spoke. The waiter sensed the tension and discreetly refilled our water before vanishing. Tyler's jaw clenched. He leaned closer, lowering his voice. "You think you're smarter than everyone else? You've always been jealous. I bust my ass trying to build something, and you sit there like you're the hero. Well, guess what, Liv? Some of that something involves your name already. We used your social security number for the pre-approval." Everything in me went still. "Run that back," I said. He smirked. "Dad said it'd be fine. You've got the credit. We just needed leverage." My mother gasped softly, but not in surprise, in fear that he'd said too much. My father placed a heavy hand on Tyler's shoulder. "What your brother means is..." But I was already reaching for my phone. My fingers didn't shake this time. "I told you," I said, sliding the phone onto the table and pressing the speaker icon. I had a plan. Across the table, my mother frowned. "What are you talking about?" "They're right here." The restaurant around us kept humming. Forks scraped plates. Wine glasses clinked. But at our table, time snapped into slow motion. Every head turned when 2 suited agents walked through the front door. The older one flashed a badge so quickly that nearby diners barely noticed, but my father did. Federal Bureau of Investigation. One agent's eyes locked on me. I gave a small nod toward my family. "Patrick Carter and Tyler Carter," he asked. My father's voice trembled but tried to sound authoritative. "There must be a mistake." "There isn't," I said quietly. "Identity fraud using a federal employee's social security number is a federal crime." "You set us up?" My mother hissed. "No," I said, standing, slipping my purse over my shoulder. "You did that all by yourselves." I just stopped cleaning it up. The agents moved in. My father sputtered, trying to stand, threatening to call his lawyer. Tyler muttered that they couldn't arrest him here, not in public, not over a misunderstanding. But the handcuffs clicked anyway. I walked out before they were escorted past the maitre d'. Outside, the night air bit at my skin, cooling a burn I hadn't realized I carried for 27 years. For as long as I could remember, I'd been the reliable one, the daughter who paid her own tuition, fixed the family credit, co-signed the silence while they worshipped my brother's chaos. Every time they said, "You're lucky to have such stability," what they really meant was, "We can always lean on you." 6 months ago, when creditors called asking about a loan I'd never taken, I realized Tyler had already used my information once. The papers that came tonight were confirmation. I contacted the authorities first. The agent told me to collect proof and wait. I waited until my birthday, the one dinner I knew they'd all show up for dressed in guilt and expensive perfume. The plan played out perfectly because deep down, I understood them better than they understood me. When the news hit local headlines a week later, Father and son charged in statewide loan fraud scheme. Mom called crying. I didn't pick up. I transferred the last of my savings into a new bank account, booked a ticket to Florence, and took 2 weeks of overdue vacation. I didn't check social media, didn't read the comments, didn't respond to their lawyers' letters. For the first time, my silence wasn't compliance. It was peace. And sitting beneath a foreign sun with no phone buzzing for help, I finally understood something. The word family isn't supposed to feel like debt. It's supposed to feel like home. Tyler's smirk was gone. That lawsuit was dismissed. It was settled out of court with Mom and Dad's retirement money. I shot back. And business number 4, the one you're not talking about, wasn't a failure. It was a fraud. The table went completely silent. My father's voice was low and dangerous. What did you just say? I looked directly at Tyler. 6 months ago, I was contacted by someone named Samuel Morrison. He said he'd invested $30,000 in Tyler's tech startup. Except there was no tech startup. There was just Tyler taking investor money and spending it on a new car and a vacation to Miami. Tyler's face went pale. That's not I have emails, Tyler. Text messages, bank statements. Samuel sent me everything when he realized the company didn't exist and you'd blocked his number. And when I looked deeper, I found 2 other investors you'd scammed the same way. Patrick Wilson and Justin Hayes. Total fraud, $75,000. My mother made a small choking sound. My father was frozen. And here's the best part, I continued. Dad knew about it because he helped Tyler create the fake business documents to show investors, which makes you an accomplice to fraud, which is a federal crime. My father lunged forward, grabbing my wrist. You will not speak about this. You will sign this loan right now, and you will keep your mouth shut about things you don't understand. I yanked my arm away. I understand that you want me to co-sign a $40,000 loan for a criminal. I understand that you've spent my entire life prioritizing Tyler over me. I understand that you see me as a bank account. You can raid whenever he needs to be bailed out. We're your parents, my mother hissed. You owe us. I don't owe you anything, I said. I paid for my own education. I bought my own car. I built my own life without you. I stood up and reached into my purse. I pulled out 2 items and placed them on the table. The first was a printed boarding pass, one-way ticket to Perth, Australia. The second was a prepaid cell phone. I'm leaving, I said. I accepted a nursing position in Australia. My flight leaves next Thursday. My mother shrieked. You can't just leave. What about us? What about Tyler's opportunity? Tyler's opportunity is prison, I said calmly. It picked up the prepaid phone. Because 6 months ago when Samuel Morrison contacted me, I didn't just collect evidence. I reported it to the FBI. My father's face went from red to gray. You didn't? I did. I unlocked the prepaid phone and put it on speaker. The volume was loud enough that nearby tables could hear. A calm professional voice came through. This is Special Agent Victoria Chen, FBI Financial Crimes Division. We've completed our investigation based on the evidence provided by Olivia Mitchell. Warrants have been issued for the arrest of Tyler Mitchell and Patrick Mitchell for wire fraud, bank fraud, and conspiracy. We have agents standing by at the location you provided. Are you confirming your current location? Yes, Agent Chen, I said clearly. We are currently at Morton Steakhouse downtown location. Table 12. Agents are moving in now. Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Mitchell. I ended the call and looked at my family. My mother was crying, her hands covering her mouth. Tyler was staring at the phone like it was a bomb. My father's hand was still frozen in midair from where he'd grabbed my wrist. You ruined us, Tyler whispered. You ruined your own family. No, I said, my voice steady. You ruined yourself when you decided to steal $75,000 from people who trusted you. Dad ruined himself when he helped you do it, and Mom ruined herself by enabling both of you for 30 years. I picked up the unsigned loan documents and dropped them back on the table. Here's what's going to happen, I said. In about 30 seconds, FBI agents are going to walk through that door and arrest Tyler and Dad. You'll both be charged with federal crimes. If convicted, you're looking at 5 to 10 years in prison. Mom, you might avoid charges if you cooperate, but your retirement savings will be drained by paying for lawyers. My mother sobbed. How can you do this to us? How could you ask me to co-sign a loan for $40,000 when you knew Tyler was a criminal? I shot back. How could you pressure me, manipulate me, and treat me like a piggy bank my entire life? I picked up my boarding pass and my phone. I'm done. I'm leaving the country. I'm starting over and I'm never coming back. Tyler finally found his voice. You're a monster. I'm the only one at this table who's not a criminal, I said. Then I saw them. Two people in dark suits walking through their restaurant entrance, scanning the room, their eyes locked on our table. I grabbed my purse and stood up. That's them. Good luck. I turned and walked toward the door, passing the FBI agents as they approached my family's table. Tyler Mitchell. Patrick Mitchell. I'm Special Agent Morrison. You're both under arrest for wire fraud and conspiracy. You have the right to remain silent. I didn't wait to hear the rest. I pushed through the door and stepped out into the cool night air behind me. I heard my mother's wailing, Tyler's protests, my father's angry shouts. But I just kept walking. Here's the truth I didn't tell them at dinner. My flight wasn't next Thursday. It was the next morning. I'd lied about the departure date as one final insurance policy. If they'd somehow convinced me not to report them, or if they'd tried to stop me from leaving, I would have been gone before they could act. But I didn't need the extra week. The FBI had enough evidence to arrest them that night. I went home, finished packing my 2 suitcases, and slept better than I had in years. The next morning, I boarded a plane to Perth, Australia, where I'd accepted apposition at a hospital that was thrilled to have an American nurse with my credentials. Weeks later, while I was settling into my new apartment overlooking the Indian Ocean, I received an email from Agent Victoria Chen Tyler, and my father had both been formally charged. Tyler faced 8 counts of wire fraud. My father faced 4 counts of conspiracy and 1 count of falsifying business documents. If convicted, Tyler was looking at up to 10 years. My father was looking at 6. My mother was not charged. She'd immediately hired a lawyer and cooperated with investigators, providing additional evidence of Tyler's schemes in exchange for immunity. She also sent me 1 email, just 3 words, "How could you?" I deleted it without responding. That was 8 months ago. Tyler and my father both plead guilty to avoid trial. Tyler got 7 years in federal prison. My father got 4 years plus restitution payments to the victims he helped defraud. My mother lost most of their savings to legal fees. She sold their house and moved into a small apartment. Last I heard, she's working part-time at a retail store. She's never apologized. As for me, I'm thriving. I love my job in Perth. I've made incredible friends. I've traveled to places I'd only dreamed about. And for the first time in my life, I'm not carrying the weight of my family's dysfunction. People ask me if I regret turning in my own father and brother. The answer is no. Here's what people don't understand about being the responsible child in a toxic family. They use you. They drain you. They guilt you into sacrificing your own future to fund their disasters. For 27 years, I watched my parents enable Tyler's selfishness and criminality. For 27 years, I was told to be patient, to be understanding, to help my family. But help isn't co-signing a fraudulent loan. Help isn't covering up crimes. Help isn't destroying your own life to save someone who refuses to save themselves. Turning them in wasn't revenge. It was self-defense. And walking away wasn't cruel. It was survival. I have a good life now. A life I built without them. A life where I'm not the invisible, reliable child who exists only to clean up someone else's messes. I'm free and I'm never going back. If this story resonated with you, smash that like button. Subscribe for more stories about breaking free from toxic family dynamics and drop a comment. Have you ever had to walk away from family to save yourself? I want to hear your stories. See you in the next stone.